I've been doing venture capital for 40 years, starting principally in the United States. I'd say the number one thing that I learned here from the data is what we all suspected, is that Russia has very little venture capital compared to many other countries. So this is the first time I've seen the data that confirmed what we suspected. I see this as an opportunity. I see it as the glass half full rather than half empty. Because if Russia has more money for venture capital, there's significantly less competition here than in other countries. In China, when we're involved in something, there's so much venture capital, there may be 10 companies trying to do the same thing. The same in Israel or India. Whereas here, if someone puts up some money to start a new venture, there's much less likely to be competition. So my recommendations would be, one, for the universities that are here, the people who are on stage and the people in the audience who are in a position of leadership at the major universities should be talking more about innovation, pushing innovation labs. I've seen this in the United States, where Harvard was way behind some other universities in terms of innovation. And in the last couple of years, a dean at Harvard Business School started the Innovation Lab, and now there's just a lot more entrepreneurship coming out of that. So I think it's the university leaders taking a lead in innovation, both talking about it for the professors and for the students. Secondly, I would say that for the people in this audience who have been fortunate to make enormous wealth in the commodities and natural resources, it would make sense for them to devote some of their money to innovation. Our firm was started by wealthy Americans who thought that there was an opportunity for innovation, and they put up the capital for those of us to do the work. So I would recommend that some of those people in the audience who haven't been very successful should find a Russian who is working outside of Russia and have been successful in venture capital, but perhaps not the managing partner of a firm, and offering him a pool of capital to come back to Russia and to start a venture firm. The amount of money, relatively speaking, to other countries is small, I think. In other words, a $100 million venture fund here, I think, could be very, very successful, whereas in the United States or China, one needs a lot more than 100 million. So I believe there is the resources here for one family or several families to come together, create a pool of $100 million, recruit several partners to come back and to start companies. And I think there will be an opportunity to make a number of successful companies and a lot of money. So I'm suggesting that this is not something to be done for the Russian government or for charity, and rather it should be done for self-interest, that there's an opportunity to build major companies and to have those financial rewards.